Hello, hello, gamers. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, and good morning, wherever in the world you are. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Today, we're going to be playing and playtesting a very fun deck. A deck that has an established archetype. It's called Kuno Rock. I'll explain what the rock part is shortly for that. Idea of this list is to make sure you're just paralyzing your opponents over and over and over again. And I'll explain to you shortly how that works. First and foremost, I do want to say, hydrate please. Hydrating is very, very important. God, I love water. Let's explain how the deck works, shall we? First off, start off with the main attacker of the list, or attacker, quote-unquote attacker. It's Articuno. Articuno is a basic Pokemon, which is water type, has 110 HP and 1 retreat cost, and it has the attack Wild Freeze. For 2 water energy, you do 70 damage. Also do 50 damage to yourself, but your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. So, how can we break this the best? You might think. Well, it's actually fairly easy to break this, because Expanded has a card called Protection Cube. We are running 3 Protection Cubes in this. Protection Cube is a tool card that says prevent all damage done to the Pokemon this card is attached to by attacks it uses. So that means that this Articuno does 70 damage, paralyzes the opponent, and does no damage to itself. Which is a pretty good combo, if you ask me. I unfortunately don't own any Protection Cubes or Articunos, so those are proxies. I swear, I think like 40 out of these 60 cards I do actually own, so bear with me for this one. So yeah, Articuno is just a paralyzing machine gun, luckily for us, thanks to Protection Cube. So let's go into the energy count, how we're going to power up Articuno. We've got 4 water energy. As you can see, I went for a little bit of a split of Scarlet and Violet, and then Terra, and also Cosmo, because I didn't feel like to homogenize them. I didn't really care. So let's lay them out here. This is not all the energy I'm using, because we're also using 4 counter energy. And counter energy is an energy that gives...
Hello, lettuce! Hello, lettuce!
Hello, Petra, welcome in. Hello, hello. You're here, but you have no sound. I'll be lurking around. Hi. Thank you for lurking. Thank you. Thank you. How do you do this? You get the message. You get the message. 4 counter energy. And counter energy gives 2 energies of any type to any non-Pokemon GX or EX if you're behind on prizes. So Articuno is neither of them. So if you're behind on prizes, this just works for 1 attachment. Pretty cool. Let's just put that right here. And your question might be like, oh Noah, you're doing like damage every time. How are you going to like infinitely paralyze your opponent? Simple. We also have a 4 counter catcher. As you can see, Counter Catcher is a card that also only works if you're behind on prizes, and it's just straight up bosses. So it switches one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. So if we're about to KO something with Wild Freeze, for example, the Regidrago V-Star at 280 maximum HP, and you've hit it 3 times to go to 210, and then Counter Catcher something else to start paralyzing that, and still have the damage Regidrago V-Star in play. Yeah. This is not our only means of gusting, by the way. Or Counter Catcher is like the most accessible way for us to gust. But we also have one Guzma, which is a supporter which switches both our opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot of our choice, but also switches our active with one of our bench Pokemon. Fairly normal card to run in like 95% of expanded decks. And then the win con for that after that is if we've built up enough damage on the board, what we can do is use Tapu Lele's Magical Swap. But Tapu Lele is also a 110 basic HP basic Pokemon with 1 retreat cost, but the attack Magical Swap for 1 counter energy, as it requires 1 Psychic and 1 Colorless. It says move any damage count, any number of damage counters on your opponent's Pokemon to their other Pokemon in any way you like. So if you, for example, built up like around 800 damage or something, you can just move that around and kill like 3 2-prisers. And then you immediately have all 6 of your prizes to win the game. So you're not reliant on permanently stalling. That's literally impossible with the 70 damage you're doing every turn. So Tapu Lele is our game finisher for that. Usually it's optimal for us to have like either 1 or 2 Articuno in play. So ideally we don't want other bench Pokemon, but if we get like ganged up and suddenly lose all both Articunos at the same time, or our 1 Articuno inactive, then what do? We lose the game. So for that reason we have 3 copies of Regirock in here. Regirock is also 110 HP basic Pokemon with fighting type, 3 retreat cost, but this has the Omega Barrier Ancient trait. And it reads, whenever your Pokemon plays a trainer card, excluding Pokemon tools and stadium cards, excluding tools and stadium cards, because it says Pokemon tools, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. So this can't be gusted up by the likes of Guzma or Countercatcher or Boss's Order. That's the main reason this thing is in here. It's a basic Pokemon with Omega Barrier, just to protect us from instantly losing the game if we lose an Articuno. So for that reason, we also have 2 Floatstone in here. Floatstone gives the Pokemon discards attached to no retreat cost to attach to a Regirock, so we can get it out of the active easily and build up another Articuno if we need to. So I'm going to have to discuss some sort of draw engine, of course. And if you've noticed, none of the Pokemon I've shown here so far have an ability. So we're using Quad Green's Exploration, which can only is a supporter which can only be played if you have no Pokemon with abilities in play. And then we get to search our deck for up to 2 trainer cards and put them in our hand. Really powerful supporter if you can abuse it. Some of you might have seen it in the previous video as well. But it's going to be here again because once again, none of our Pokemon have abilities. Really good stuff. So what are cards that are going to help us draw? What are trainer cards are gonna get us to what we want? This one is actually just another trainer card that draws stuff. You're probably not going to want to get this off of greens, but you might want to find greens with Trainer's Mail. Trainer's Mail is an item that looks at the top 4 cards of your deck and reveals a trainer card you find there, except for Trainer's Mail, and puts it in your hand. One of the most powerful items of all time for searching, and definitely mandatory in this list. 100%. You can't go lower than 4 Trainer's Mail. Otherwise you have like almost no draw engine. So to get basic Pokemon in play, we use a certain amount of basic searching cards. First and foremost, we have 3 Artisan. Artisan is a stadium that allows us to once per turn, or allows both players to once per turn bench a basic Pokemon from their deck. But with the only stipulation of it being that it doesn't have a rule box. So no benching Regidrago or whatever, or Raining Greninja, Articuno or Regirock or Tapu Lele are completely fine. 3 Artisan. We also have 1 Battle VIP Pass, because it's searchable with Green's Exploration turn 1. It's really powerful. This Battle VIP Pass is an item that can only be played on our first turn. It searches our deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon and puts them onto our bench. So this can grab us like second Articuno plus Regirock. Something like that. Oops, sorry about that. Sorry about the camera shake. We also have an Hisuian Heavy Ball. In case one of our important Pokemon gets prized, for example the Tapu Lele, we wouldn't want that, so that's why we have Hisuian Heavy Ball. And we also have 1 Nest Ball to just search our deck for a basic Pokemon and put it on our bench. This can grab Rule Box Pokemon as well, which is kind of relevant because we have 1 Rule Box Pokemon in this deck, in case we need it. For more draw support, we run 1 copy of Professor's Letter, which searches our deck for 2 basic energy cards and puts them in our hands. Fairly simple, of course. I'm running a lot of 1-offs because we're running specifically Green's Exploration. Green's Exploration, which makes it really, really easy to find all these 1-offs whenever we want. Hello, Gesture, welcome in. Thank you for the compliment. I must admit, it's not entirely my deck. I've looked a lot of like Japanese lists that function like this. I would say this is like the most average Japanese list for Kuno Rock, specifically what I'm going to show. I would say this list is like the common denominator of all the lists you see out there, with maybe a little bit of spice added on my own. I don't think I included a single card that isn't in any of the lists. But yeah, I feel like this is probably the best way to play it. Let's talk about our A-Spec. I actually don't own this A-Spec, but I do own the Gen 1 version of it. Computer Search. Computer Search is especially powerful, like I said. There's a lot of one-ups in this deck that are really important, like Tapu Lele, like Heavy Ball, like Professor's Letter maybe, or Nest Ball. Or maybe you want a Protection Cube to find easily, or Guzma. This is why we have Computer Search as our A-Spec, which discards 2 other cards from our hand in order to search our deck for any cards and put it in our hand. And there we go. Let's talk about the rest of the supporter lineup that we got. We can't really do that without first talking about the Quad VS Seeker, of course. This is a Quad VS Seeker deck. We've already seen the 1 copy of Guzma, 4 VS Seeker, with the slew of supporters that I'm going to show you. I mean, we already run 4 Greens Exploration, but 4 VS Seeker is a mandatory for the lineup that you're about to see. It puts a supporter card from your discard pile into your hand, so it allows you for a lot of versatility on what kind of supporter you want to use per turn, in case you need like a 2nd or 3rd Guzma, or maybe a 5th Greens Exploration, or any of the other supporters that I'm going to show you right now. First and foremost, this deck runs 2 Faba. Faba is a supporter card that says that you can put any tool, special energy, or stadium in play and put it in the lost zone. This is really nice for when your opponent is attaching Stealthy Hoods to their Pokemon, because Stealthy Hoods prevents effects of attacks done to that Pokemon and removes all existing effects, so that's like the biggest counter to this deck. So having Faba, multiple copies of Faba, plus maybe even more than 2 copies with VS Seeker is instrumental for this list, because Stealthy Hood, once again, like I said, just counters our entire list. And 2 Faba is fine, because most decks that run Stealthy Hood usually run at maximum 3 of them. So at maximum, we would have to like VS Seeker for Faba once. But 2 or 3 is like kind of the norm if you're running the cards. Maybe you're running 1 Stealthy Hood, but I feel like that's throwing the game. I'm trying to adjust this light so it doesn't overlight any of the cards. I think that works. Okay. Another prize manipulation card that we have right here is Gladion. Gladion allows us to look at one of our face down prize cards and put it into our hand, and then shuffle Gladion back into the remaining prizes face down. Gladion is also fairly important in case we prize something important that is not a basic Pokemon, like if we prize like our Computer Search, for example, or like honestly any of the other supporters that I'm going to show you, or like Guzma, for example, maybe 2nd Articuno. That's actually basic, never mind. Whatever. Next card, Guzman Hala. Guzman Hala allows us to search our deck for a stadium, but if we discard 2 other cards while playing, this card also allows us to search our deck for a tool and a special energy. This could get us, for example, on turn 1 could get us Artisan plus Protection Cube plus Counter Energy, and if Artisan can get us Articuno, then we basically have an Articuno setup on turn 1 going 2nd, which is really, really nice. We also run 1 copy of Iono. Iono, if for any standard players, this card is probably not very new to you, but Iono shuffles both players' hands and puts it on the bottom of their respective deck, and then both players draw cards until they have as many cards in hand as prize cards in play. Especially useful for our deck, because since we are a deck that wants to grab all 6 prizes in 1 turn, so we're practically always drawing 6 cards from Iono, whilst our opponent is probably going to gradually go down in prizes over the course of the game. So this supporter becomes more and more powerful the longer we wait with this. It's also a supporter that draws us cards that doesn't discard any cards from our hand, which might be relevant. Same goes for N. N is the same exact cards, same supporter, but N shuffles hand into deck rather than shuffles the hand to the bottom of the deck. So you could also run 2 Ns or 2 Ionos. That's up to you for personal preference. I like the ability to choose between the 2 in case there are some cards in our hand that I don't necessarily need this turn, but I don't want to Iono them to the bottom because my deck is still too big, because I do need them at some point soon. For our recovery option, we have Roseanne's Backup. Roseanne's Backup is a supporter that allows us to shuffle a Pokemon tool, stadium card, and an energy card from our discard pile into our deck. Really powerful supporter if all 4 of those are in the discard pile. This is instrumental for getting like third Articuno with a third, with like another protection cube if it's priced, another counter energy if they're priced, and maybe even another artisan back in deck. Really, really good. And then one more supporter. This one is really, really, really good for our deck specifically. It's Teammates, which we can only play if one of our Pokemon was knocked out during our opponent's last turn. But it gets us to search our deck for 2 cards and puts them in our hand. This is really good. This is like double quick search. This is like double for a Seal Stone. The only requirement is that one of our Pokemon got knocked out last turn, which is probably going to happen at some point during the game. Really powerful supporter for comeback decks like us. Hello Sam, welcome in. Hello, hello. Now let's talk about more of the other tech Pokemon and other tech options that we're running in this list, because so far we've only seen 6 Pokemon here. Ancient Trademon, let's go. My Glorious King. Yeah, Regirock is really good in this list. So let's talk about another Ancient Trade Pokemon. What a timing, by the way, to come into chat. We also run 1 copy of Bunnelby. Bunnelby has the Omega Barrage Ancient Trade, which allows it to attack twice during our turn. Bunnelby is pretty important in certain matchups where we're kind of strapped for resources. If we need like a third Floatstone or something. We're practically never going to use the Burrow attack. We're only going to use Bunnelby if needs be for the Rototiller attack to shuffle cards from our discard pile into our deck. Up to 2 in a turn. Yeah, Bunnelby is really good. This can help us like reuse Computer Search, for example, or Rabbit don't count because he's broken. Okay, yeah, fair. We also have our Menace to stall us out in the early game. We have 1 copy of Budu. Budu has the Ichipollen attack for free. It does 10 damage and item locks our opponent for the next turn. Also is a basic Pokemon with free retreat. Unfortunately only 30 HP, but this card is king in helping us stall in the early game. In case we don't have the good cards in our hand to get a good setup right away. Now this one is specifically for the Regidrago matchup. It's Girafarig with the Get Lost attack. It puts 2 cards from our opponent's discard pile into the Lost Zone for 1 colorless energy. This can target some Dragon Pokemon in Regidrago's discard pile to make sure that they can never use those attacks anymore during the rest of the game. Really good contextual card specifically. I'm sure it's good against other decks as well. Like, for example, if an opponent's deck is struggling to set up and has to discard some of their key Pokemon first, with like Ultra Balls or whatever, or like Battle Compressor, then we can abuse Get Lost. Get Lost also works really well in getting some of our opponent's supporters from the discard pile to the Lost Zone, so they can't VS Seeker for them anymore. Really, really nice. Thank you for claiming for a follow, and also thanks for claiming the Spicy Nugget today. Yes, hello, welcome in. You never even considered Articuno Protection Cube? Oh yeah, no, it's so good. Giraffe plus Lost World, GG, shake my head. Lost World is such a silly card, man. They should have never printed that card. That card is so crazy. Another card specifically for the Regidrago matchup, but this also helps in the Iron Thorns matchup and in the Lugia matchup, is Jirachi. Jirachi is another basic Pokemon. As you can see, this is a proxy. Proxy Jirachi. Basic Pokemon with 60 HP. It's a metal type, and it has 1 retreat cost. And the first attack, Stardust, is the only relevant one here, practically. For 1 colorless energy, it does 10 damage and discards a special energy attached to our opponent's active Pokemon. And if it does, it makes this Jirachi immune from all effective attacks, including damage for our opponent's next turn. Pretty powerful card if we want to discard some double dragons, or speed lightnings, or double colorless, or whatever. If we know that our opponent has no more Gust left. It's a definition of buns. You wish it were legal and expanded though, since Giraffe would actually destroy Drago. Oh yeah, Girafarig already destroys Drago pretty well. What set, Japanese or English or whatever, is the best to buy right now? Also relatively cheap. It depends on what your goal is. What you want to achieve with the cards that you buy. So if you want to buy, like, let me know if you want to buy packs or singles specifically, and if your purpose is for collecting or playing standard or playing expanded, like for the game or for money. I'm gonna have to you're gonna need to be a little more specific than that for me. Oh wait, no, that's what Sam asked. Like, in what way? Like for the game or for money? Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to be a little more specific on what your goal is for the set. If you're asking for relatively cheap, then I wouldn't look for any sets that are any older than Scarlet and Violet base for collecting. Well, the best way to go about this is to, I would say, look at like the sets that, not the most recent sets. I would say look at like from Journey Together and earlier than that. So I would say look at all sets released between Scarlet and Violet base and Journey Together, and look at the arts that you like the most and that you want to collect, and then choose one of those sets. I think most of those sets between Scarlet Violet base and Journey Together are fairly cheap and accessible to get right now, other than maybe Prismatic Evolutions and 151 specifically. I think those two are still very much scalped like a lot. But I think any other set is probably a lot easier to come by. Anything Scarlet Violet other than anything after Surging Sparks and 151. Yeah, Surging Sparks is also pretty hard to come by, but for example, in my opinion, sets like Shroud of Fable and Stellar Crown have amazing arts, and those sets are not collected very widely. I agree with Paradox Rift also has a lot of cool arts that not a lot of people collect. And Obsidian Flames is another one. I think if you go for one of those 4 sets, you're probably having a pretty good time collecting for relatively cheap. Oh, there's Surging Sparks on the shelves near you. Oh, okay. So Surging Sparks is also finally in the stage where it's not that scalped anymore. That's pretty cool. Anything after that isn't real. No, not really. Because after Surging Sparks came Prismatic. I mean, I feel like I see a lot of Journey Together on the shelves in my area. I wouldn't look for Destined Rivals or Black Bolt and White Flare, because that's like impossible to get at a normal price these days. I would say that's the extent of my advice. Anyway, let's look at the last 4 cards of this deck. This deck only has 4 more cards. First one is Ordinary Rod. Roseanne's backup is not enough recovery for me, neither is Bunnelby. So we're also running Ordinary Rod, which can shuffle up to 2 Pokemon and 2 basic energy from our discard pile into our deck. Just good old-fashioned rodding. You can also consider Super Rod for this, but usually in this deck what you want to do is recover 2 water energy and like a Bunnelby and an Articuno, or like a Budu and an Articuno, depending on the situation. I feel like Ordinary Rod is just straight up better than Super Rod in 95% of the cases. Last week at the store there was Crown Zenith for 79 cents. What? 79 cents a pack? That's absolutely crazy. That's not real, right? Is that real? Because I feel like Crown Zenith is like a very, very good set for collecting, but it's really expensive in my opinion normally. But 79 cents a pack? I don't believe that actually. That's nuts. Unless your currency is like not euros or dollars. Unless your currency is just actually straight up fucked. It was real. Is your currency US dollars or euros? Otherwise, if that is the case, that is absolutely crazy. It is euros? Then I doubt it's real. Was it at like a normal retail store? Was it at a normal retail store, or was it just like a random store? Like in a street with a lot of tourism shops. I have a hard time believing that that's actually real prices. Buying packs is a scam, just buy singles. I mean, you're not wrong, but if you're starting out collecting, I feel like packs is probably a pretty good way to start collecting, just so you can get like some fond memories from opening your very first packs, and then like maybe later you can get into singles. There's a store called S-Market here in Finland, normal retail store. Yo, maybe we need to actually go to like fucking Scandinavia to get our packs. That seems like that seems almost too good to be true. That's crazy. Were they Japanese Crown Zenith packs or just like regular English packs? Or maybe they were. I don't think the Pokemon Company prints Pokemon cards in Finnish, do they? I don't think they do. Were they like actually English packs? As normal retail store, S-Market is no scam. I believe you in that. Okay. Your very first card was a few singles you got. Okay, fair. That's fair, I guess. Probably Korean packs, on God. Okay, yeah, I can see why. Okay, Korean packs are indeed a lot cheaper than normal packs. That makes it, the whole story a little bit more believable. Oh wait, no, that's what Sam said. No, they don't. They were English. They were English. Interesting. I would look into that. I would look into that because that's a very good deal. If those are like actual packs, I would like try one and open it like right outside the store. And if it's trash, then if it's like an actual fake pack, then oh, too bad. You spent 80 cents on a pack. Like, oh well. But if it's actually real, I would go back and like buy more. But I would test one like on the parking lot of the S Market for sure, because I almost don't believe that. It seems like almost too good to be true. That's a really good deal though, Hes. If you pick up on that, I would look into that for sure. Anyway, the 58th card is Tool Jammer. Once again, like I said, Stealthy Hood is our #1 public enemy of this list. That's why we run 2 Faba. That's also why I run Tool Jammer, because I hate Stealthy Hood. It's just a turn off Stealthy Hood, bro. It wasn't fake, on God. I know when cards are fake. Okay, I believe you. But S Market, you're the goat. That's all I'll say. S Market's the goat. Okay, 59th card is Target Whistle. Target Whistle is really good for pulling just random basic Pokemon from our opponent's discard pile onto the bench, and then, for example, counter-catchering it up, gusting it up to active to then keep freezing stuff with Articuno if they don't have many basics benched. B1 packs for retailing for 150. Bring that back. Oh yeah, good old times. The 60th card is is the card that I was talking about. That is the Rulebox Pokemon. It's Ogerpon. Just in case that's like all shit goes down, Ogerpon is here to save the day and maybe do like a double snipe attack. We can technically charge this up in 2 turns because counter energy does work on Ogerpon because it's not a capital EX Pokemon or a capital GX Pokemon. So 1 water and 1 counter energy, if we're behind on price, is enough to power up Torrential Pump. It also has Sob, which is nice for retreat locking. This card is probably only going to get used in absolute shit show scenarios where too many things are prized. Like, for example, if we price our Gladion and our Heavy Ball and our Tapu Lele, then Ogerpon is going to be our Lord and Savior. That's a 60. Anyone got any questions about this list? Let's see. So what does this deck gain over Shocklock? What this deck gains over Shocklock is the ability to one-shot, to grab 6 prizes in 1 turn thanks to Tapu Lele's Magical Swap. If you've built up enough damage over all these Pokemon, you can Magical Swap to get like 3 2-prizers or 2 3-prizers. And then just grab all your 6 or your prizes. Instead of having to infinitely stall the entire game, you can just rip the Tapu Lele Magical Swap when you're ready to go and just win. But that's what this deck gains over Shocklock, in my opinion. Right, take your screenshots right now, because I'm gonna shuffle this deck in like 20 seconds while after I'm taking another sip of water. Alright. Let's go shuffle this list up and see if we can do some test matches. Also, the thing is, I feel like Shocklock is very weak to item lock. If like a Shocklock player gets like item locked for a single turn, their deck just entirely folds. Like they can't play any Devo Spray, so that means their setup just breaks the turn after. Whereas this deck can still function after item lock because we still have ability to use Guzma if we can't counter catcher. You would just be scared of them using Guzma to switch in a Kyurem turn or 2. Yeah. No, I understand where that's coming from, for sure. I can definitely understand where that fear is coming from. I never said that this deck was counterless. Those are like the scariest scenarios. Hello there, CZVDCXFSCZC. That's an interesting key match name. Are you up to trade? Not really. I'm gonna playtest this list. I'm not really down to trade, especially not across the internet, if I'm gonna be honest. I don't even know how you would want to achieve that other than with me specifically mailing to your home address. Because I don't play pockets, so I can't trade via that way. Tell you that much. You have a Mega Charizard EX here. Can you please trade with me? Why do you want to lose your Megazord, man? Why do you want to lose your Megazord? What do you even want in return? That's what I'm asking. What do you even want in return? Let's flip the coin. Let's say tails, I go first. Heads, I go second. Something like that. Let me give you a good roll. Hold on. Good roll. Come on. I want a roll that's not going off camera. Dang it. There we go. It's tails. Okay, so that means that I go first with this deck, which is something I don't really want, actually. How would you guys trade? Yeah, that's what I'm wondering as well. That reminds me, I gotta sell my Mega Ray Ultra Rare. Ooh, you got a Mega Ray Ultra Rare? That's pretty cool. That's pretty dope. Not gonna lie. This tuition is a bitch. Oh, yeah, I gotcha. Yeah. Unfortunate. Okay, let's draw 7 cards. Let's see what we draw. We have no basic Pokemon, so we have to mulligan. That's unfortunate. Means we have to reshuffle all the cards in our deck and draw a new opening hand. We will be right back. No worries. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere for the foreseeable few hours. God, I love this song. Turn City, such a goat. Vibe. Wait, someone spent 200 channel points. On what did they spend it? Let me check. Oh, posture check. Oh, I didn't even realize. My bad. I'll do that right now. My posture was pretty okay, actually. My posture was pretty okay. You guys can't see it, but I'm not really shrimping in my chair. I'm sitting pretty upright. Alright, maybe when we're getting down to the nitty-gritty and play, then maybe I'll start shrimping more. There we go, 7 cards in the opener. We do have a basic this time, and it's a Badoo. Unfortunate, because I kind of wanted to do an attack with Badoo turn 1. What about a Pikachu V Rainbow? Sorry, dude, I'm not really interested in trading at the moment. I guess that's all I'll say. I like not even going into like the logistics of this. I am truly not that interested in trading. I'm sorry. All right, let's flip it over. Turn 1 going first. What's the best play here? I think I'm definitely playing this heavy ball just to check what the pricing is like. Let's see. We priced Regirock, Countercatcher. Oh, we priced Gladion and a Countercatcher. That's kind of awkward. Also, we priced Teammates and a Protection. This is kind of fucked pricing, not gonna lie. This pricing is low-key kind of fucked. This is why we run 3 Protection Cube. Gladion in the price is easily like the worst pricing I've seen here, because any of those prices would be fine if we had Gladion. But we don't. So let's bench the Regirock. Definitely want a Nest Ball for an Articuno if I can. Why is there black stuff on my leaves? I hate it. Yeah, let's go grab Articuno. Is there any other cards I want to grab here? I haven't specified the matchup I'm playing against, but depending on the matchup for Girafarig might be a good grab here. Maybe second Regirock. Just go for Articuno. I guess if we don't want to die to like a turn 1 Trifrost from a Regidrago player that just wallies, which is definitely possible, I guess we should have benched Ogerpon then. But like I said, we're doing like kind of neutral matchup just to scout out the list first. I'm not gonna attach the counter energy yet, I think. I'm just gonna pass for now. Let's assume my opponent is just gonna take the prize on the body. That's probably the easiest to assume. I'll push Regirock because I have the float stone in my hand. Ah, okay. What's really nice is that we got counter energy plus protection cube in our hand here. It's really sick. There we go. So basically this Articuno is now powered up because our opponent is ahead on prizes. Let's also play Green's Exploration to grab some cool trainers from our list. I want to grab Artisan here, that's kind of important. And I'm down to grab another. Wait, I have another Greens Exploration in my hand. There's no need to grab another Greens. Do I grab my other Protection Cube? Probably not. I already used my Nest Ball, so I can't Nest Ball for another Pokemon. We could grab Guzman Hala. It's not a bad idea. If I Guzman Hala, there's no need to grab Zon, but I'll still do it. Okay. Let's play down the Artisan and use the Artisan. Get down another. Get down another. I think another Articuno is the play here. Kind of have to do that. The thing is, it's kind of hard to like playtest this deck solitaire style because this deck is a very reactive deck. It's dependent on what our opponent is playing, 100%. So that's kind of like tough to figure out with this list. All right. Let's retreat our Regirock because it has the Float Stone into Articuno. And let's use Wild Freeze to, for example, put 70 damage on our opponent's Regidrago V-Star and paralyze it. Let's assume that they don't have a switch in hand, so draw another card. I draw another Green's Exploration. That's crazy. Okay. I didn't prize a VS Seeker, so I might be down using Guzman Hala to discard the greens. Yeah, I think I'm gonna Guzman Hala to discard the 2 greens. So we get search for Stadium, a tool, and a special energy. We got counter energy. We got Protection Cube and Artisan. Here we go. I'm not going to shuffle my deck yet. We're going to use Artisan to get another Regirock in play, just in case. We get Trifrosted. Maybe adding a bench protection Pokemon is a better call for this deck. Like if we add like a Mr. Mime, Bench Barrier Mr. Mime, that might be a good idea. Or like maybe like a Shaman or something. Like any of those bench protection mons. Maybe Mew from Unbroken Bonds is a better version of that because I can place damage counters with its attack. Although Manaphy might be better because I might consider adding Brooklet Hill to this list. Instead of triple Artisan, go to Artisan, 1 Brooklet Hill. So let's attach these two to the Articuno on the bench. And Wild Freeze again to put our opponent at 140. Draw a card for turn. I will computer search away my Guzma and Artisan. So I can grab Fiestiker? Question mark. Yeah, so we can grab VS Seeker. We'll use VS Seeker to grab Green's Exploration. And then we play the green's exploration. So we can go ahead and grab another floatstone. Floatstone. What else do we want to grab? Let's grab another green's exploration. We have these two as our cards of choice. Go. Let's attach the Regirock, the floatstone to the Regirock and Artisan. We have more backup. Maybe we grab Jirachi here. Maybe Bunnelby. I only have 2 floatstones, so it's not really sensible to grab another Regirock. I'll just go ahead and get a Girafarig. Alright. Shuffle everything up. And go for another Wild Freeze. So that the opponent's Regidrago V-Star is on 210 damage. We draw Water Energy. Let's play Green's Exploration. To grab Counter Catcher for sure, and I'll also grab Roseanne's backup because I'm scared. I'm not going to use the Artisan because I don't want to bench lock myself. We go. Let's Counter Catcher up another Regidrago V-Star on the bench. And Wild Freeze that one for 70. So let's assume that they got like a Guzma or something and they KO my Articuno and another Articuno and a Regirock with Trifrost, for example. They go down to 2 prizes. This all goes to discards. We push the Regirock. And we use Roseanne's backup to shuffle back the Articuno, Protection Cube, Counter Energy, and I still get to shuffle back a Stadium, which is not in my it is in my discard pile, but I don't think I want to shuffle back the Artisan. So we'll do this, and I'll Artisan to get that Articuno back on the bench. Let's attach a Water Energy to Girafarig. Retreat, Regirock, Floatstone. Shuffle our deck. I kind of need some huge draw next turn, otherwise I just lose, I think. There we go. And we use Get Lost to like put the Kyurem in their discard pile into like let's say the Kyurem and the Noivern EX into the Lost Zone. I'm assuming this still gets taken out somehow to put them at 1 prize. So let's push up Floatstone Regirock. Draw. I don't think I want to attach this for turn. I do want to Artisan just to fit my deck out before using the N. Welcome back, Hess. I did the posture check when you were gone. I didn't realize you redeemed it until later. Yeah, Artisan for Bunnelby, that feels fine. Artisan for Bunnelby, and let's use N and hope that we actually get some good stuff from this N. let's draw 6. Give me Protection Cube plus counter energy, please. There's Protection Cube, and there's counter energy. Holy shit, we got both of them. That's so good. I did already play a supporter for turn. Battle VP Pass does nothing. VS Seeker does nothing for me this turn. Let's just retreat the Regirock because it has a float stone, so no retreat costs. Into the Articuno. And I guess we'll just keep wild freezing the Regidrago that we've already wild freezed once. Wild froze once. So it's now at 140. Draw another card for turn for the next turn because I'm assuming he has nothing here. Let's attach the water energy to Bunnelby so that can do some rototiller stuff maybe. Let's VS Seeker. You were just in a sauna, not gonna lie. Ooh, sauna. You're finished, so it's not weird that you have one at home. I was about to say, like, is that a normal thing in Finland, having a sauna? Apparently it is. Okay. I'll VS Seeker for the Roseanne's backup, and I'll play Roseanne's backup to shuffle back Articuno, Protection Cube, Counter Energy into my deck. And then I'll use Artisan to bench the Articuno again. Let's shuffle up the deck again. Okay. Cool, let's Wild Freeze again to put that Regidrago at 210. Going into the next turn, we draw Counter Energy. Okay. We can counter catcher another Regidrago. Faba probably has a use at some point, so let's just play it. I'll Artisan to fin my deck again. Probably benching Jirachi here. Yeah, there's no need for Regirock because we have no more float stones left. There's no water energy priced. I think there's one. Yeah, there's one in play here on the Buttlebee, but I don't think there's any in the discard pile. Oh, actually, yeah, from the for Giraffe Rig. Yeah. So there is actually one. Okay. Let's just Wild Freeze for 70 for the first 70 on that Regidrago. Draw a card for turn. Iono is pretty good here. Yeah, let's play the Iono because I really don't want Battle VIP Pass in my hand. This puts our opponent at one card in hand again. It's unlikely that they have an answer. Get some more water energy. I guess I'll attach one to the Jirachi here. We have another Artisan, but one in play is still not bumped. I mean, I'm assuming it's bumped at some, like, probably at some point in the past turn, so I'll just put down my new one. You gotta go almost immediately right now, see ya. No worries, no worries. Hope you had fun here. I hope you had fun. Let's Wild Freeze for the second 70. Drawing another card for turn. There's the Protection Cube, hell yeah. We have the VS Seeker to do something here this turn, something meaningful. I think I'll just keep wanting to Iono because I need to find another counter catcher. So let's play the Iono. Shuffle these to the bottom. Yeah, we have VS Seeker for Iono. Draw 6 more. Okay. Now we can fin the deck with letter. Only one, right? Yeah. So I did attach for turn this turn already. We have 2 Trainer's Mills as a chance to find counter catcher, but I think I've used 2 of them already. 1, 2. 2. So there's only 1 in my deck, but my deck is not very thick anymore. Let's see. Trainer's Mill gets me Baba, I guess. That's unfortunate. I didn't really have a choice in that. I did already play a supporter this turn. Baba goes to hands. We have a second trainer's mail. Come on, give me counter catcher. No. So grab ordinary rods. Don't really want to grab the Battle VIP pass if I'm gonna be real. My deck is not very thick right now anymore. Maybe I should have VS Secret for the Guzma. I think that was the better play. Because that enemy Richard Drago is at 210 right now. I think what I'll do is I'll retreat Articuno to Jirachi. I'll use Stardust to discard their. I'll use Stardust to discard their Double Dragon Energy on the active and KOing because it's a basic Regidrago V. 210 plus 10 is 220, and they have 220 HP, so we get 2 prizes from that. Okay, those are like not the greatest prizes. I mean, Teammates not terrible. Actually, no, Teammates is terrible because we can't proc this anymore. Okay, so Jirachi is immune, so let's say they clank with Jirachi. Foggers, we draw for turn. Let's reattach that counter energy to Dark Uno. Let's VS Seeker for Guzma. Guzma was discarded very early on in the game. There we go. Play the Guzma on like the 4th Regidrago V for like another 2 prizer in play. Probably like the Koraidon EX. And Wild Freeze that one for 1. Trainer's Mail for Battle VIP Pass, I guess. That's so cringe. Okay. Ordinary Rod doesn't really do anything right now. Let's Wild Freeze the second time. We found a Lele. I don't have counter energy, right? There's 1 in discard here. And there's 1 in prizes. How many VS Seeker have I used? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. That's a little bit of a yikers. Does that mean that I don't think I have recovery anymore for another counter energy on Lele? Did I just throw by doing that? I don't think I have anything anymore. Let's Artisan to check our deck. Oh no, wait, there's a counter energy in deck. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Never mind, we're chilling so hard. We just need to find it at some point. None of these cards actually draw me cards, unfortunately. Let's just play Faba, just in case. Yeah, none of these cards draw me cards, unfortunately. Okay, that's Wild Freeze number 3. Oh, we top deck it. Let's fucking go. Bench, attach, retreat Articuno. And we now have 4 prizes to grab. We have 420 damage counters in play right now. Surely that KOs 2 prizers for the last 4 prizes. Yeah, there was 2 counter catcher in prizes, huh? Wait, 2? I don't remember seeing that. I'm confused. Anyway. That was really clutch. If I didn't get the counter energy from the top deck there, I really honestly do not know what I would have done there. Okay. Let's go shuffle up. Try another game against Drago. Oopsie. Let's see how a game goes going second, because that was kind of disastrous, the going first game. God, I love the song. It's so good. Most music is good from this franchise, let's be honest. There's gonna be an ad soon, so let me just let ads run, actually. Run ads. There we go. Everyone on the YouTube side, you don't really have to worry at all. about the ads. It's just a Twitch thing because I'm a Twitch affiliate. I'm very sorry. All right. By the way, Sam, are you still here? Something I'm wondering. Just a quick question. Sorry if I called you out of your lurk. I'm just curious because I have a little bit of an announcement, and I wanna make sure you're here when I do it, because I think you'd be very interested. But if you're not here, then it doesn't really matter. And I'm gonna assume no response means that you're not here, so that's okay. Let me just check something real quick. Check something real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna do this thing whilst we're in ads anyway. I don't think it matters. Let's check. Yeah, okay, cool. That works. For those of you who just saw the sneak peek, no you didn't. I do want to make it a little bit bigger though, so if I'm finished shuffling the deck now, we'll make it a bit bigger. What's really awkward is every time I'm shuffling my deck, I'm looking away to the right, just to make sure that I don't see any of the cards that I'm shuffling, you know? Because that is just kind of how it works sometimes. So I'm just looking away from my pile, so I'm not getting any extra info. But I'm looking directly towards the screen, which shows what cards I'm shuffling right now. Like the exact camera, that's what I'm looking at right now when going to the right on my PC. That's so funny. It's so funny. It's so counterintuitive. Bigger, center it. Yeah, that works. All right, I'll just wait until the ads are over. Keep shuffling. And let's say we're doing a game going second, like I said, because we just did a game going first against Regirago. That breaks over. I don't see the green bar disappear yet. Let me just check. Yeah, no, it still says 30 seconds-ish. Okay. I'll just wait for that one to run out and then I'll continue. Actually, I could probably do my opening hands. 5, 6, 7. There's some dirts on my cards here and there. There we go. All right, what are we hoping for in the opening hand? We're hoping for greens. We're hoping for Articuno. We're hoping for counter energy. We're hoping for protection cube. And like maybe Badu. Those are like the things I want for my opening hands. Yeah, okay, let's see. This is a clown fiesta of an opening hand. What is this? I'll start Jirachi, I guess. No. Start Regirock. And that's it, I think. Maybe I should have started Ogerpon. Maybe I should have started Ogerpon. It's okay. Just put down the prize cards. Flip it over. We're going second, so we can't play a supporter. Okay. Nestball. Let's see. Kind of want to grab a Badu. If it's not prized, it's not prized. Okay. I don't think I can get any Pokemon that can find me other things. What else did I have in my hands? I had like 3 other Pokemon. The water energy. I guess I can bench this, attach this in case I get Trifrosted. Guess I'll bench the Jirachi as well. And shuffle my deck and pass. This opening hand is really awkward. Like really, really awkward. Assuming we're playing against Regidrago, we're definitely gonna KO active. Just like that. Let's push Badu because it has free retreat. And draw. There's an INO. I think I want to burn a counter catcher to potentially sob retreat lock something. And then play that INO. I need to play the INO to draw 6 fresh cards. I need to. Playing that's so dirty. Got a greens. Got another Regirock. That's fine to bench because it can't be bossed. Let's play Trainer's Mail to see what we find. Okay, it's either Protection Cube or Teammates. I think I'd rather grab Teammates. Alright. This is a little awkward, but it is what it is. They now know that I've grabbed Teammates, so they might not have. Oh, whoops, there goes my mic. Sorry for the jump scare, guys. Let's Itchy Pollen. Hope that helps enough. Actually, it's probably better to retreat to Ogre Pawn and go for a Sob. Another Regirock. Let's go get greens. So we can do Artisan, Protection Cube. Artisan and Protection Cube. Articuno from the Artisan. Go. That's the Protection Cube. And I'll just sob again. Let's say that next turn is the turn they get out, for example. I'm gonna get another Articuno just in case. Wow, it was near the bottom of the deck. Let's VS Seeker for greens. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. VS Seeker for greens is fine. To get another Protection Cube. And the Gladion in the deck. Cool. I have a stinking feeling that I priced something really important. So I want a Gladion next turn. If I don't get like knocked out this turn. So Cube and Sob. Let's say they're still stuck for one turn, so we draw. Let's play the Gladion. Yeah, I figured. Okay, cool. So we prize 2 Floatstone. Interesting. Now we have. I figured I was missing something important, but I couldn't put my finger on it. Okay. That's just Floatstone to the Regirock. Still don't really have an energy. Go off of what I want to do, so I'm gonna have to sob again. Let's say they knock out Ogre Pawn. Badu and draw. Dude, I'm drawing like the worst things ever. It's okay because I have teammates. teammates can get me counter energy and counter energy. I think that's low-key the best play I got here, just 2 counter energies. Maybe VS Seeker would have been better, like another Queen's Exploration. But I'll go for this. Attach the counter energy, retreat Badu into Tikuno, and Wild Freeze to do 70 damage to an active. Next turn, we're attaching counter energy here. Let's play the Trainer's Mail. Okay, we find a counter catcher, but I think I would rather want to play greens. And I can greens for a counter catcher. And a heavy ball. I can get the Bunnelby out of the prizes. And I have the counter catcher for like next turn or the turn after. Heavy ball. Bunnelby. Yeah, the rest of the prizes is fairly inoffensive. Like the second floatstone there sucks. The rest doesn't really matter. Like VIP pass, sure, whatever. So Bunnelby just goes to the hands. This one was in my hand as well. Wild Freeze to get it to 140. Draw. Honestly, Artisan probably has been bumped at some point, so let's replay it. Let's play Faba. And then Wild Freeze to 210. Draw. Ooh, Litter. Litter's pretty big. Helps me fin a little bit more. Go grab the Fancy 2 energy. Okay. I will attach 1 to the Jirachi here. Since I did 210 last turn, I'll counter catcher and 70 on the second one. Rock Guzma and Hala. I think I want to bench the Bunnelby and attach the water energy. And Guzma and Hala discarding Girafarig and Regirock. Get a Stadium Tool and Special Energy from our deck. Do I just get these 2? There's only 1 Artisan left. No. Third Artisan is in prizes. That's what it was. Tool Jammer is probably better to grab here. Okay. Already attached for turn. I'll attach a Tool Jammer to the Jirachi. That's kind of mandatory for using Jirachi. There's Stealthy Hood Shenanigans, and I'll Wild Freeze for 40. Draw. Trainer's Mail. I guess I'll grab the N. Not sure if I want to play the N. Let's target Whistle first. And then play the N. Can't really use the counter energy right now, so I'll just hold on to it. Go to 6. Okay. Interesting draw. Hitting for 210. Let's assume that maybe at this point he is broken out of the lock at some point so that he KOs an Articuno. I'll just push another Articuno, draw, counter catcher, push that up, and then Roseanne's back up to shuffle back these three fellas and an Artisan. Go. And I'll Artisan back Articuno. There we go. Then we'll Wild Freeze for 70 on the fourth target. Is that the fourth target? How many counter catches am I down? 1, 2. Yeah, no, this is the third target. It's 70 on the third target. Draw. Greens. No, this is not smart. Hold on. I'm not doing this correctly. I need to VS Seeker for Guzman Hala. There we go. Play Guzman Hala, discarding Ordinary Rods and Guzma. Search our deck for Counter Energy, Artisan, Protection Cube. Attach the Counter Energy and Protection Cube to Articuno. Do we replace the Artisan? Maybe we do. And then we Wild Freeze for 140 on the third target. Draw. Greens Explo. Or, say, Faba. And VS Seeker. Doesn't really matter at this point. I just need to be careful about deck out and having all the options in my hand that I need. Wild Freeze to get to 10 on the third one. Draw. Counter catcher to the fourth one. 70 on the fourth one. 40 on the fourth one. To 10 on the fourth one. Draw. Treat Articuno. To Badu. And item lock them. Let's assume they KO Badu, going to 1 prize, push Jirachi, draw, Tapu Lele, counter energy, retreat Jirachi. Sure, we can attach a protection cube here. We still play Computer Search, discarding Trainer's Mill and Water Energy to grab this from deck. Imagine if that was the last two cards were both Counter Energy and Magical Swap for all 6 prizes. Cool. GG. That game was a lot more clean. I kind of overfilled my bench, which is something I kind of regret. I didn't need to bench the Bunnelby at all. But it's fine. We worked it out. We worked it out. By the way, Sam, if you're still here, let me know. So I have an announcement to make, and I think you'd like to hear it. Sorry for the yawns. My bad. Right, some good shuffles in. Get some good shuffleonies, shuffleronis. Let's get a big sippy. Yeah, I didn't want to shuffle a little bit more. I was like, wait, my brain just went 5 different ways in one go. I was like, wait, what do I do again? What was I doing again? Who am I? Where am I? Then I realized I'm just a human on this floating rock that's shooting through space at like 800,000 miles an hour. I'm just a random person. So if you're watching this, it has to be Fate. Drop a follow if you haven't, so that you never miss the next one. Let's put 7 down and then I'll flip the coin to see how this goes. That's not a good roll. It's not a good roll either, come on. 2, okay. So it means I'm going first, which I don't really want with this list. That's not a playable opening hand. No Pokemon. No basic Pokemon, that is, but all the Pokemon in my list are basic Pokemon, so whoops. Alright. Give it a good shuffle. Come on. Come on. You know, I'm thinking of maybe changing the aspect from computer search to dowsing machine. I think there's merits for both of them. But I stuck with computer search because that's what every single one of the Japanese lists had. Yeah. Computer search is pretty good. But I feel like dowsing machine has its own merits as well. It might be like slightly weaker, but more versatile. Computer search just sometimes feels like a really awkward to play, and I'd rather play secret box than computer search, if that makes sense. But computer search is like impossible to play with this deck, because you need like practically every resource in your hand that you can get. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we have a basic. We have multiple. With multiple basics, so let's start Giraffaric and Regirock. Okay, put down tree and start the game. Going first, draw. Find Trainer's Mail. I guess I'll rip it. Okay. Computer search is kind of big. Do I grab the computer search? Is my hand like discardable in some way? Not really. Can't really discard any of these. Or do I just grab Artisan? I think I just grab Artisan just so I have deck search. I think I want to grab Budu if I can. Is Budu here? Budu is here. Okay. And now as a house rule, I will do a little bit of a price check. I'm not going to permanently flip them over this time. I'm going to try to remember. Okay, what's the price check looking like? Okay, we've priced 2 VS Seekers and 2 counter catchers. So I'm going to need to find Gladion at some point for one of those counter catchers, unfortunately. The Trainer's Mail and the Faba don't really matter because I have another Faba in deck. Trainer's Mail is just a consistency piece. I guess I'll pass. Say they knock out the Giraffaric. Go down to 5. I'll push Budu. Bench Articuno. Attach counter energy. Oh wait, I didn't shuffle my deck out. Sorry, my bad. I forgot to shuffle my deck after the Artisan. No, I did shuffle my deck. I just raw top decked the computer search after I already saw it from the Trainer's Mail. That's crazy. Anyway, let's see if it happens again. Bloodstone, cool. Patch Floatstone here. Artisan for another Regirock. No Floatstone in prizes, so I think just to be safe, let's get another Regirock in play. I hear screaming downstairs. My sister just come back from vacation? She might have. Honestly, don't know. Yeah, we don't have the protection cube, unfortunately. Did I play a supporter? No, I haven't, but there's no supporter in this card either, so. I'm gonna retreat Badu, and I'll call Wild Freeze, doing 50 to myself, fortunately. Going into the next turn, I find another Articuno, which is nice. But I'd rather would just grab that from the Artisan, if I'm going to be honest. I need to fit my deck more for this Artisan, so I guess I'll do Jirachi. Yeah, I'll get Jirachi in play. I need to find like a greens next turn. Or like a Guzma and Hala. Or just my raw protection cube. So that's technically 8 outs in this deck of like 40-ish cards. It's like a 1 in 5. It's not that unlikely. I'll Wild Freeze again, putting them at 140 frozen, or 140 paralyzed. Putting myself at a hundo. Draw. I try another Yes Seeker. Are you fucking kidding me? I hate that. I'm gonna Wild Freeze to put them at 210, but also knocking out my own Articuno. Push Regirock. No, they're paralyzed. I can push Badu. Yeah. Draw for turn. Ooh, Letter fins me some more. Still is not the card I'm looking for. Unfortunately. You know what? Maybe I don't even need the Gladion, huh? Let's just attach water here and Itchy Pollen for the KO. The Faba and Versus Seeker. That's really awkward, because now I have 3 Versus Seeker in hand. They're item locked, but I'm assuming they can still grab a KO on this. On this Badu. Let's push Regirock. Draw. Now I find Protection Cube, so I can attach water and Protection Cube here. I don't think I've played a supporter this game yet, so play Faba, and I'll Artisan. Not for Lele, that's really scary. Wait, do I get another Regirock? Maybe another Regirock is the play. I think another Regirock is actually not the play, because he can boss stall that up. Because I don't have 3 Floatstones. There was a Bunnelby here. Yeah, let's go grab the Bunnelby. Go shuffle. Retreat Regirock. Do Articuno and use Wild Freeze. Put the second one at put 1 at 70. Draw for turn. I find N. That's so big. Kind of want to wait on N though. I want to play the counter catcher first since there's so many counter catcher prizes. So let's Wild Freeze for 140. Another water energy. I'll touch. Wild Freeze to 210. I can target whistle that Regidrago V again. And counter catcher of that Regidrago V. And now I can play N. Shuffling my 3 Versus Seekers back. No! Is there a water energy in the discard pile? I will check that after Or before I've drawn my 6 cards from N, or 4 cards from N, sorry, no. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards from N. Okay, I refined the Wellspring, that's kind of awkward. 70 on the second one. Draw, nice. Attach that here. Rosant for Articuno counter energy. Artisan for the Uno. And there we go. Yep. And Wild Freeze to 140 on the second one. Top deck the counter energy. I mean, there's more than one of those, of course, in the deck. There's literally like 3 or 4 of those in the deck. Hit it to 10. Don't think that grabs anything. I just want to double check what my prizes are. It's 2 counter catchers, a Versus Seeker, and a Trainer's Mill. Counter catcher, the third thing, and Wild Freeze for 70. Draw. Yeah, none of these cards are good for me right now, so I'll Yono. Guaranteed not see those cards anymore. I haven't seen a single greens in this game yet, but I just saw it in my hands. Protection Cube. Thing is, I need to find another counter energy before I can win. So I'll Wild Freeze for like the 2 prize knockouts, but that means that they can move again. Or did I counter catcher it? No, I counter catcher earlier in that turn. Sorry, my bad. I can do, yeah, I can do 70 to that thing. That I just counter catcher. Cool. Yeah. So I draw the counter energy. That's nuts. Greens. I can now get teammates back. And Guzma and Hala. I think at this point I'm like set up enough to actually win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to retreat Articuno. The Regirock. And I'll pass. Assuming they take out Regirock or like any other Pokemon here, doesn't really matter. Push up the other one. Draw. We get Artisan for the Lele. Go, Artisan for the Lele. Attach counter energy to the Lele. Retreat Regirock. And magical swap for the last 4 prizes. Easy. And even if I didn't have Artisan, I had Nest Ball in hand, so it doesn't matter. Hee hee, haha. Funny shenanigans. This list is fairly good. I love this list. This is kind of broken, if you ask me. It's kind of broken. Yeah, this list feels really good. Sorry if my fingers look weird, by the way, during shuffling. It might look a little jarring. But, like, my fingers have a free will of their own, and they go everywhere during shuffling, as you can see. As you can see, it pushes, the fingers push the deck down in all different directions. Holy shit, I never noticed how weird my right hand looks when I'm shuffling. Does that happen when I'm doing it from the other side too? Yeah. Fingers have a free will. I mean, the shuffle is working. I'm so glad I can actually shuffle decks, bro. I'm so glad I can actually shuffle them. Let's roll the die. Heads. Yeah, that means I'm doing another game going first, which I really don't like. It's okay though. Oh my god. Stop falling out of the deck, Retrock. I know you're heavy, but not that heavy. You're actually altering the weight of the cards outside of the game. There we go. Give it a good souffle, souffle, souffle. Give myself another sip of water. And let's get ourselves an opening hand. Okay, we start with 2 counter energies. And an ogre pawn. Do I open the ogre pawn? I think so. I think Bunnelby is too risky to open. That card can be so useful later in the game. Flip over. Draw. Ooh, Tool Jammer is huge. Let's heavy ball to see what the prices are that I just laid down. Okay. Budu and Regirock are in here. I guess I'll grab the Budu. Let's see, Greens, Faba, VS Seeker, Protection Cube. I've seen better prices, I've seen worse prices. I can live with this. Let's bench that. So I'll attach the counter energy. Ogre Pawn. Let's Nest Ball for Regirock. I think that's probably correct. Do I have more search in my hands? I am going first, so I can't play supporter. I do have more search, but it's supporter search, so supporter-based search. Fetching feels really weird here, by the way, so I'm not gonna do it. I can't stop this turn anyway, so that do something? Oh yeah, that does something. That's fun. Oopsie. Right, let's assume that on their turn 1 going first, they KO the Ogre Pawn. Going to 4 prizes and I'll push my Budu. Draw cards. I find Artazan, that's not bad. Guzman Hala. Discard. Wait. So discard Artazan and counter energy. Find counter energy. Protection Cube. And Artazan. Hell yeah. It feels weird to discard counter energy and Artazan with Guzman Hala to grab counter energy and Artazan. But I'm also grabbing Protection Cube. So I don't feel too miffed about it. And Guzman Hala is so good. Why did I shuffle, by the way? There was no need. Artazan. Kuno. Ah, oh, god damn it. There we go. Alright. Attach protection cube, attach counter energy. Retreat, Badu, and Wild Freeze to get the first 70 down. Let's assume they have a Guzma and they get the Badu with the Guzma. Now I'm in a really good spot, which is nice. With Articuno inactive. Okay. Draw for turn. EFP pass is useless here. I'll Artisan for another Regirock. Here we go. I have both Floatstones in deck, so I'm not too miffed about that. None of these cards search cards for me, unfortunately. I want to bench the Bunnelby. Counter Energy is not useful here. Full Jammer does nothing here, and I don't know what the fourth card in my deck in my hand is, but I don't think I want to play that either. Oh, I can't even play VIP Pass, man. Wild Freeze to 140. Let's use Professor's Letter. Yeet. I will Artisan for another Articuno. I'll attach one of these to the Articuno. Actually, no. I'll attach the counter energy Articuno. And I'll Wild Freeze to 210. Draw another card. At this point, I don't want to use the Artisan, so let's Trainer's Mail. Okay, Guzma is good. Guzma is really good here. I wanted to get Countercatcher to find a new target to paralyze. What I can do now is I can Guzma, for example, this Articuno to active, get the next target in play, attach water, treat with the water so that the counter energy can stay on the Articuno. And then I can just Wild Freeze on the second target for the first 70. Draw for turn. Now I have a protection cube for this one. And Wild Freeze to 140 on the second one. Teammates is huge. Wild Freeze to 10. Stone, yeah. I got no Gust though. Let's Wild Freeze to grab the 2-price KO. Get greens and Heavy Ball. Heavy Ball does grab something. That's nice. Let's assume they KO the Articuno. Putting them at 2 prizes. Regirock. And draw. I can Heavy Ball. For this Regirock. Okay. Two. Teammates is better here. We'll get Teammates. Catcher's not that useful right now. I need to remember that I can grab any card with this. I want to grab Floatstone for sure. I think I have to grab Countercatcher. Did I say I was at 70 or 140 on this one attack? Oh, I didn't even have to show. Satch. Treat. Maybe I should have grabbed Roseanne's backup. Just one Articuno's in discard pile with associated consortions. Putting it to 140. Draw. Greens. For Roseanne's backup. And I'll get computer search. Because I have some useless cards in hand that I might need to get rid of later. If I can find a card with it, then that's great. There we go. I just want to sort my hand real quick, just so that I know what's up. Wild Freeze to 210. Draw. Counter Catcher. The third Pokemon. Or actually, no, the second one, because I already knocked one out. Trainer's Mail. No. No, not yet. Hold on. Order, Noah. Order. Roseanne's backup. Shuffle Articuno, Protection Cube, Counter Energy, and Artisan back. I'll Artisan back the Articuno. I'll use Computer Search, discarding my Water Energy and Battle VIP Pass. Get the Counter Energy. Now I just need to find the tool cards. This is why I wanted Computer Search for this turn. Attach the Counter Energy here. And now we Trainer's Mill, because we might hit the Protection Cube. We don't, but we hit a greens, so that's huge. That can grab us Protection Cube next turn. I did Counter Catcher this turn, I'm pretty sure. Let me just double check. Or was it like last turn? It was this turn. Yeah, so Wild Freeze on the third thing for 70. Damn. Greens. Guzman Hala are not in deck anymore, right? But I have VS Seeker in hand, so I can grab Protection Cube and like Trainer's Mail. Target Whistle actually. And Protection Cube. Yeah. So I'm assuming the things I'm like bossing up right now are not that big. So I'm hitting this turn for 140, but I think that might be the last hit. And now we Target Whistle. New basic. The fourth one, and then Counter Catcher, that's active. And then we VS Seeker for Guzman Hala. Oh, whoopsie. And I'll play the Guzman Hala, discarding the Water Energy and Regirock. Oh, my music stopped playing. Oopsie. Music. Why did my music stop playing? There we go. So we got a new notification. Yeah, alright. Yeah, I discarded my things, so I can look for tools, special energy, and stadium. There's the stadium, there's the special energy. I don't think there's any tools left in deck. Nope. Counter energy and artisan. This means that if I go for the Wild Freeze here to 140 on the, or 70 on the fourth thing, now I definitely have enough. Even if they bump my artisan, I can draw, play the artisan, use the artisan, Tapu Lele, Attach the counter energy to the Lele and the Tool Jammer. Treat Articuno, starting the counter energy. And then use Magical Swap to get the last 4 prizes. Yay! Alright. Shuffle everything back in. I'm gonna go get my pee break shortly. Shuffling back in the deck, oh yeah. Shuffling back in the deck, oh yeah, yeah. Shuffling back in the deck, oh yeah. But I love the Friends area swamp music. I'm gonna go have my pee break real quick. I do want to do like a little bit of a quick announcement before we do that, because I invented a new format. And we're gonna have a showcase match soon for that new format. We don't have a date yet planned. It's gonna be somewhere in August. That's something I'm gonna pin down for sure. It's gonna be in August. The format that we made is Commander, but in Pokemon. As you can see, I got 3 other very cool content creators that want to play this with me. We've practically locked in the commanders. I'm not sure. There might be some last minute commander changes. I'm not going to explain a whole lot about this format unless you guys really, really want to. Just know this is going to be happening somewhere in August. I'll leave this up whilst I'm going on my pee break. Alright, gang. I am back from the peeing. Hope you all liked that announcement. I sure as hell have spent so much time on that format. Kind of like testing, rules testing, specifically also for ban list testing. I hope you guys will enjoy it too. Really, really do. Let's go into another Kuno Rock game, as we call the deck. Another Kuno Rock game. And we're going first again. Oh my god. Seven cards, 40 opener. And there is no basic Pokemon. Time for a mulligan. Time for a mulligan. Alright, come on, bless me with the gods of opening something like Badu or Regirock. Don't give me like a Bunnelby opening or Jirachi opening or an Ogerpon opening. Or a Lele opening would be even worse. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you kidding me? Once again, no basics. That sucks. Come on. Third time is the charm, surely. Surely. Come on. Come on. Oh, yes, we got something. We got a Regirock, okay. I'm not complaining about that, that's fine. That's definitely fine. Is the rest of the hand workable though? Going first. It's Heavy Ball first and foremost. There are... Why is Battle VIP Pass always prized, man? Yeah, this prizing is very cursed, actually. Not a fan of it. And I think I'm gonna get donked here. So I'm gonna have to pass, but let's imagine the Regirock lives. Somehow. And we're gonna have to play greens. Stay in the game. I'm gonna have to grab Floatstone. And what else? Not Floatstone. Artisan and Guzman Hala, I think. No, that's not true, actually. Grab Guzman Hala and Floatstone. No, I need the Artisan now, because I can't play this Guzman Hala this turn. I could grab Nest Ball and Guzman Hala. I think that's better. There is a Nest Ball, that is. Could be a Nest Ball, yeah. Let's play the Nest Ball. Get a Regirock. Here we get Articuno. Let's get Articuno. At this point I'm desperate. Very, very desperate. There we go. I guess I'm gonna letter as well. Just in case I get Ionodes or something. Attach one here and this one to hands. Pass. Regirock gets taken out. And I have to push Articuno. Draw. Water energy. But this way I can save my Guzma and Hala. Which is nice. Do I want to save it though? Not really. Hala, discarding my Ogre Pawn and my Uno. Counter Energy, Artisan, and Protection Cube. Attach Protection Cube here. Play the Artisan. Use the Artisan. Bench the Regirock. Go. And Wild Freeze on this first one for 70. Draw for turn. Artisan for the other Articuno. Because I have to attach Counter Energy. VS Seeker for Guzma and Hala. Play the Guzma and Hala. Discarding Badu and Roseanne. For Protection Cube. Counter Energy and Artisan. Actually, Protection Cube is not as important as Floatstone right now. Going to Protection Cube and grab Floatstone instead. Alright. Attach Floatstone. And Wild Freeze to 140. Draw for turn. There's a Regirock in discard, but I can fin another Regirock to the bench. There is another Floatstone in the deck. I think there is. Where did I prize it? I might have priced a Floatstone. Yeah, I did price the Floatstone. Okay, cool. I'm gonna grab nothing from Artisan then. I want to play VS Seeker then. Or Roseanne's, maybe? No. VS Seeker for greens. And play the greens to get my Protection Cube. Go. And Comp Search. I'll grab Gladion. There we go. Shuffle it all up. Attach the Protection Cube here. And hit Wild Freeze for 210. Going into next turn. Play the Counter Catcher for the second target. I'll play Gladion. Do I get it for a Floatstone though? Got 2 cubes, but it's fine. I'm gonna grab a floatstone. Feels a little awkward to grab the floatstone. I think teammates might have been better, but this gives me a more solid board state, which is I think more important right now. Play the Artisan, Regirock. There we go. Attach the floatstone. I mean, honestly, let's assume that it's this Artisan that I have to play that. It surely got bumped at some point. Okay, first one for 70, or sorry, second one for 70 is what we're hitting. Going into this turn, oh, I find N pretty big actually. I'll wait on the N until I've played my other counter catcher. So, Wild Freeze for 140, Wild Freeze to 210. Let's play the Trainer's Mail, maybe I get something better. Bro, I'm getting Kuzma. So good. Kuzma's so good here. Play the Guzma, switch these two. Not that it matters. And then Wild Freeze the third one for 70. Draw. Actually, hold on. Let's assume they actually get a KO. Then it might be more interesting. And then do my draw for turn. So now I need to Ordinary Rods, back Articuno, 2 Waters, and another Regirock. Artisan, Articuno, Satch the counter energy. Go. Play the Trainer's Mail to see what we get. Comp Search is pretty cool. I'll just go grab greens from this. That N is gonna stick in my hand for a little bit, not gonna lie. Wait, hold on. They go to 4. Okay. Going to 140. Draw. Top that Computer Search. That's interesting. Computer Search the greens and water energy. For target whistle. So there's another target on the bench that we can hit. And counter catcher are 4th targets. 70 on that. Draw. I keep drawing into gas, bro. Holy moly. Okay, I'll grab counter catcher. Don't need a dough, so I'm gonna play N. Redraw some stuff. And draw 6. Let's see, how many counter catcher and Guzmas that we use? I think it's 3 counter catcher and 1 Guzma. No, it's 2. So we are on 2 counter catcher and a Guzma, so that's target 4 indeed. Okay, so I am keeping track correctly. Yo, Strategic, hello, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Wow, I drew into all the energy. That's crazy, okay. Don't want an artisan here. Wild freeze the 4th target for 70. Draw. I'm not drawing jack shit, bro. I guess play the Faba. They probably got a problematic tool somewhere on that board. At this point, I probably gotta start spinning the deck so I can find. Oh no, wait, no need. I have everything that I need. Yeah. Wild freeze the 4th target for 140. So like, even if they KO this, I think we're fine. Because we can go here. They don't have 3 prizes. Yeah, we're still so fine. We can wild freeze again to put them at 210. I do 50 to myself because it has no protection cube. And even if they knock this out by an attack, we're so Gucci. Because we just have a game in hand here. Just push a Flowstone, Regirock, draw, use Artisan. I think I even have an Artisan in my hand in case it gets bumped, so. If some expanded decks, we should webcam matches sometimes. Oh yeah, we definitely should. That would be fun. Doing like kind of like a best of 5 conquest mode where we each have like 3 decks, and then we have to win once with every deck. That would be pretty cool. Then we attach the counter energy. Like yeah, we even have the Artisan in hand in case it gets bumped. Retreat to Regirock, and then magical swap the damage around. There's like about 600 damage on board, so surely, actually more than 600. There's 840 damage on board, if I did my math right. Or actually not 840, 770 damage on board, because I've used Wild Freeze 11 times without grabbing a KO. So surely that's enough to grab 6 prizes. There we go, 6 prizes, all for moi. GG, shake my hand. This deck is crazy. Holy moly. I love this list. I might have to print, like, you see a lot of proxies in this list. I might have to print more proxies if we actually ever do that. Because I only have things I only have 1 Faba and 1 Guzma, 1 N. I do have 6 Versus Seeker, which is still not enough for 3 decks though, but things like I only have 4 Quick Ball, 4 Trainer's Mail, 4 Compressor. So yeah, I would have to print some more proxies if we actually ever wanted to do that. That's a fun idea though, not gonna lie. How does bro have 840 damage on board? 12 Wild Freezes. Do you know this card? Strategic? Hold on, where's the Articuno? There it is. Articuno, Wild Freeze. Does 70 damage. Also does 50 damage to itself, but not with protection cube attached, and leaves the opposing defending Pokemon paralyzed. Pretty good. Especially with protection cube. Yeah. Bro's silent right now. So the whole idea is that you just spam that move whilst you have nothing but other Articunos or Regirocks on the bench. So that they can't boss trap you. That's dumb. Oh yeah, this deck is so fucking dumb. It's a really cool lock deck. It can teeter and break. This is very weak to decks that have a lot of switching. But other than that, I think it functions pretty fine. Let's roll the dice. Okay, I get odd, so that means I get to choose. I think going second is always optimal with this list. This list is absolutely gross, by the way. What does Regirock do? You get Tapu Lele attack, but not anything else. It's the objective. So Regirock has the ancient trait that that whenever your opponent plays a supporter or an item card, it can't affect the Regirock. So similar to like the Cetitan EX that's in standard right now, but it's an ancient trait, so it's not an ability, which is really important because this little deck runs 4 greens exploration as consistency. But the objective is to use as many Wild Freezes as possible while our opponent can't attack, until we have enough damage on board that we can magical swap in such a way that we either board wipe them or get 6 prizes. That's the whole idea. Okay, let's see. Do we have a functioning opening hand? We have an Actually, this is the first time I've seen Battle VIP Pass in my opener. That's lovely. Or actually, I've also seen Green's Exploration sometimes in my opener, but in all those games, I prize my Battle VIP Pass, my one Battle VIP Pass. So I'm really happy about this opening hand already. Let's draw for turn. And play the VIP Pass. I will take a quick look at prizes just so I don't have to price check. The Guzman Hala are prized, so are 2 Regirock and a Counter Energy. Okay. I'm definitely gonna have to find a Heavy Ball in this match because 2 Regirock is kind of like optimal bench setup. I can live without the Guzman Hala, but that's gonna be really rough. So maybe if we have a way to find Gladion soon, that'd be cooking. Like if I find a green, so I can get like Heavy Ball plus Gladion off of that, which is pretty good. My pricing kind of fucks me here. Anyway, a VIP Pass can get me. Hold on, what do I have in hand? Do I have energy in hand? No, I have Protection Cube and Floatstone and Tool Jammer. I have Iono, I guess. So I think I want to grab Badu Regirock. Yeah, Badu Regirock seems fine here. Shuffle. Oh my god. Shuffling is my arch nemesis. Standard card in the expanded deck? Ew. Hey, listen, if it's any standard card, it has to be Badu. Right? I mean, also Iono is in this deck. There's one Nest Ball in this deck. There are standard cards in this deck. Don't worry. I think those are the only ones actually. The Iono, the Nest Ball, and the Badu. I guess Basic Water Energy is technically standard cards. Are there any other standard cards in the deck? I don't think so. I'm just trying to think. I don't think there are. Let's attach the section cube here and the maybe Floatstone goes here. It's kind of a gamble to see if we find an energy next turn. So I think it's better. No, I'm gonna do the gamble. I don't care. Sure, let's attach a Tool Jammer to Badu in case they have a Stealthy Hooder. Turn 1 going first. And then I don't know. Draw 6. Go. Yeah, we do find an energy. This is not active, as in like my opponent still has 6 prizes, but I can use it for retreat, which is nice. We have Artisan that I can use to grab another Articuno. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a Wellspring Overpawn EX in this list. Green's Exploration will remind you of Sandacona deck and expanded. 360 damage for 1 energy with your big sand cannon. Jesus Christ. 360 for 1 energy is crazy work. But that does track. Sandacona VMAX was kind of nuts. There we go. I'm not gonna play the Nest Ball because there's no other Regirock in my hands or in deck. So I will retreat Articuno, discarding the counter energy. There's 1 counter energy in prizes, so there's still 2 in the deck. Push Badu with the Tool Jammer and Itchy Pollen for 10. On the active, let's think. Can they get a KO under item lock? Turn 2 going first. Maybe. Let's assume they do. Just worst case scenario, they KO. Assume they do. But they have like a half-ass setup because of item lock. Draw for turn. It's a water energy. Let's play the teammates then. So we can only play that card if we got one of our Pokemon knocked out during our last turn. We get to search our deck for 2 cards. I think Heavy Ball plus counter energy is correct. Let's do Gladion plus counter energy. Teammates, what a card, yeah. Oh no, you mean a baby Sandacona, of course. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Rose actually price checking, I thought I would never see the day. Yeah. Imagine me price checking, bro. I hate price checking so much. Teammates goes there. Attach to counter energy. Retreats the Regirock to Articuno. And Wild Freeze on the first target for 70, putting them at 80 HP, because Badu, HP Pollen. Go into the next turn. Okay, we got 2 waters, that's nice. Can actually do just a double attachment. In that case, I think I want a greens. I really want a Gladion. I have to Gladion. I need Guzma and Hala out of my deck. Or out of my prizes, sorry. Yeah. I need Guzma and Hala out of my prizes. Go, put our prizes back. Reprint town map. Honestly, I'm so tempted to just run a town map in every list, but every time I make these lists, I'm like, bro, I want more consistency. What should I cut? I guess I cut the town map, man. In fact, every expanded staple, reprint every expanded staple and put it in an expanded toolkit product, so you make all the cards affordable and force the PCI to code them into TCG Live. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We love to see it. Wild Freeze, putting them at 150. Assuming it's Regidrago, that means they die to the next Wild Freeze. So I have to... I can't play Guzma Hala here. I have to go for greens, Expiration. I need a Gust. I guess I can get Gust plus Cube. I really want Gust plus Heavy Ball though. Gust plus Heavy Ball seems the only way to go. I mean, they did it like once. In like the Sun and Moon era, they did things where they reprinted stuff like Field Blower and Fiery Flint. There was like an expanded toolkit for that. Or not, it wasn't called expanded toolkit, but it was more like a trainer toolkit. Play the Heavy Ball to get the Regirock out. Yeah, I'm still a little bit miffed about that counter energy and prizes, but whatever. Maybe I should run Peonia on this list. No, Peonia is too awkward to run. We're not going to play down this Regirock yet. I said I needed Gust, so we're going to use Gust. And then target the second thing for 70 damage. Draw for turn. And then we go for Guzma and Hala, discarding Nest Ball and Target Whistle. I don't feel great about discarding the Target Whistle. Let's discard the greens. Expanded is coming sooner than we think. You've been studying every post and noticing things others don't within the game. Are we in the conspiracy? Are we in the conspiracy mode full on or not? We might be into conspiracy mode. There we go. Protection Cube, Artisan, Counter Energy. Actually, no, I don't want to grab Protection Cube. I want to grab Floatstone. Where's my Floatstone? There's my second Floatstone. There we go. Probably LMAO, yeah. We're in the psychotic rant kind of mode right now. I do really hope it's coming somewhere, like either this year or next year, but I don't have my hopes up too high. Here we go, these 3 go to discards. I mean, at some point this Artisan's gotta get bumped, right? I haven't used it in the past 3 turns. Surely it's bumped at some point. Bench the Regirock, attach the Floatstone. And then Wild Freeze for the second hit to 140. Sphere Seeker. Greens, play greens. For the Protection Cube. And a Counter Catcher. Yeah, this deck flows so much. Target Whistle is... do you remember what Echoing Horn does? From like the Rapid Strike stuff? It's the same thing as that. It puts a basic Pokemon from your opponent's discard pile onto their bench. I just use Target Whistle because I don't have an Echoing Horn, but I do have one Target Whistle, so that's the reason why. Attach this, use Wild Freeze to put them to 210. Then this turn we Counter Catcher to their third Pokemon. It's nice that I top decked another VS Seeker. Holy fuck. We got Greens again. My hand's kind of dead. I might Iono. I mean, I have the Counter Energy, which is nice. If I can help it, I actually do want the Greens Exploration. And I'll grab Greens, I think, plus something else. Computer search in case I really don't know what to grab here. So I guess I'm grabbing computer search. This deck has more stalling capability compared to me learning to drive a car, and that's saying something. Yeah, no, this deck is nuts. I swear to God. This deck is crazy. I really don't know what to get, so computer search is never bad. Okay, put the third Pokemon to 140. Draw. Then this turn we Greens again. It's so nice that you can just chain Greens. This time we're grabbing Counter Catcher. And Greens, because why not? Green! Dude, Green's Exploration is such a broken card, I swear to God. It's such a broken card. I'm so glad the drawback is on that, because if there was a way to mitigate that drawback, for example, in playing a format that also has Pokemon with Poke Powers, you would definitely not want discard legal. Okay, put the third thing at 210, or did I do that last turn? I don't remember. No, yeah, put the third thing at 210, they're paralyzed again. Counter Catcher up the fourth thing. And then just Wild Freeze again for 70. That's 6. That's not 620 because the first one was 150. 150 plus 210 plus 210 plus 70. So we're now at 420 plus 90. Sorry, plus 70 plus 1. We're on 640 damage in play. It's not quite enough, I think, to win with magical swap. So we'll do a Wild Freeze to put them at 140. This is all assuming that they don't have Switch, of course. If they do have Switch, I would have to spend my supporters on not using Greens, but like the Roseanne's backup in my hand, for example. Okay. I'll grab the letter so I can thin a little bit. I think there's only one water left in my deck, but the other two are there. Okay, cool. We'll play Switch in this economy. I mean, no one plays Switch, but people play Guzma. People play Stealthy Hood to cure the paralysis. Those are like two things. That's why there's two Faba on this list. Because of the Stealthy Hood. That's public enemy number 1, and Guzma is another. People technically have 5 Guzmas in their deck because of the VS Seeker, you know. And then put the fourth thing to 210. So that means I kind of lost count. I think that means that we're on 710 damage in play. Yeah, 710. I think that's enough to get 6 prizes. So going into this turn, we Artisan. For Lele, it was on the bottom apparently. We attached Counter Energy to Lele. We retreat Articuno for 1. Counter Energy. And then we Magical Swap to do blah, 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 blah. Cool, I got 6 prizes. Yeet. Hell yeah. It's really hard to playtest this deck in solitaire mode because this deck is really reactive. Just like every stall deck, every control deck, it's really reactive and really dependent on what your opponent plays and what your opponent does. So yeah, I really don't know. Really don't know how to properly test this. I'm trying to think of all the scenarios possible, but it's really hard. Like, there's no way I could like test for, oh, what turn is my opponent gonna target whistle, for example, my Badu, and then boss that up to KO that, rather than like bossing up my Articuno or something. Those things I can't test. This format is just so goddamn reactive. There's so many things you can do that I straight up can't test for that shit, you know. Right. Give it a good shuffle. Testing a Mew-free expanded beta. Ooh, spicy. I love it. Let's roll the dice. It's odd again. Cool. I get to go second again. Slate. Boop, boop. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. Yoink. Prism Energy is finally played one live. Let's fucking go. Only took them 24 hours. Or a little bit more. 72 hours. Okay, I got no basics in hand, unfortunately. Sadly, Artisan does not count as a basic Pokemon. Even though I really wanted to. That was like not a bad hand. There was a greens in there. There was a counter catcher in there. How do you get counter energy to work to your turn 1? You don't. But the thing is, wanting to go second because you can Badu turn 1. But the main reason you want to go second is because you want a greens turn 1. So you can get like a Guzman Hala for next turn. Or like already get your like Nest Ball plus Protection Cube. Something like that. Green's turn 1 into like Battle VIP Pass is really good, for example. That's like a really good line you could take if you go second. Okay. Attempt number 2. Here we go. Oh, look, we open Badu. That's actually not bad. It's actually kind of desirable. Not terrible at all. Alright, flip it over. And I draw Articuno. Okay. I don't think I want to bench this. I literally got, look at this. I got the combo in hand. Articuno, counter energy, protection cube. And I think I have to go for it. Articuno, counter energy, protection cube. I kind of have to go for it. Because I want to play this N. I need to see more cards. Just hope I draw into like Battle VIP Pass or something. But like the only counterplay to me doing this and item locking turn 1 is like if they have a raw Guzma. They can't even like Battle Compressor for their Guzma. They have had a turn 1, of course. But if they Battle Compressor for the Guzma, they can't VS Seeker for it anymore. Unless they have specifically Pokemon Ranger, but then they can't Guzma anymore because Pokemon Ranger is their supporter for turn. I guess they could like do Prime, like Pokemon Ranger plus Prime Catcher, I guess. 4, 5, 6. 6 off of the N. Also, hold on, 6 prizes for my opponents. Okay. This is gas, I think. Nest Ball. And Nest Ball for a Regirock. I have to Nest Ball for a Regirock, actually. Okay. And I want to play the Artisan so I can get another Regirock or another Articuno in play, depending on what tools are in my deck. Jammer. Protection Cube. Ooh, did I price both my float stones? Hold on, I need to check this. Did I price both my float stones? I didn't see a single float stone. I did price both my float stones. I guess that means that I'm gonna go get a second Articuno. I also think I priced a Protection Cube. I think I only saw one of them. Unsure. got a greens for next turn, which is huge. Sadly, don't have VIP pass this turn, so let's Itchy Pollen. Let's assume Badu gets knocked out. Go. Draw for turn. Attach counter energy. Here, I just top deck the Regirock. That's so awful, bro. Greens Exploration. I need to get Gladion for sure. And I'll get the other protection cube. There we go. God, I love protection cube so much. It's such a silly card that does nothing for like 99% of all Pokemon. But for Articuno, it's so fucking goated. It's also really goated for Weezing, for liability Weezing in Eternal formats. And it's also really goated for the Claydol that's in Standard right now, the Kaboom Doll Claydol. I think it's from Obsidian Flames. The one that puts your opponent at exactly 10 HP remaining, then does 120 HP damage to that Pokemon. And it has 120 HP. But if you combine that with like poison stuff, then that's really good. Okay, attach that here and go for the first Wild Freeze for 70. Draw for turn. Gladion. Floatstone for sure. Yeah, see, there's a protection cube in here. 2 water energies, by the way. But yeah, the rest of the prizes is fine. It just sucks that like 1 cube, 1 floatstone is in here. Trainer's Mail and the 2 waters are kind of fine. I still have 2 water energy to find off of my 1 letter that I have here in case I need it. Attach the Floatstone to Regirock. And I'll VS Seeker for greens. Actually, no. No, I want a VS Seeker for... I want a VS Seeker for N. So my hand is absolute shit. I need to draw better cards. A lot more better cards. Like I said, the Ogerpon is only there for like emergencies. Like if I open it, turn 1 going first, getting Ogerpon and attaching a water there is not bad on the bench. And then like turn 2, if they take a knockout, you can attach a counter energy and then just KO 2 things probably, or maybe like chip 2 things to help you progress your game state. Okay, let's draw 6 from the N. That's 5. 1 more. Why do I get the Wellspring Ogerpon and the Regirock back? That's so cringe. Okay, I do get another VS Seeker though, so I can if I want to. I can if I want to just straight up go for another N next turn. Wild Freeze to 140. Draw. I think it's better to VS Seeker for Gladion. Oh wait, no, Gladion is... Hold on, Gladion's in my prizes now. I can't VS Seeker for Gladion. If only. A VS Seeker for greens to get Heavy Ball is not an option either. I think what I have to do is set to 140 last turn, right? So I can computer search away my Regirock and water energy. Search my deck for cards. Get a greens. Might get a greens. Sure. Let's get a greens. I don't even have to show it to my opponents. It's just a card. Alright, and Wild Freeze to 210. Draw. Counter Catcher the second thing. Play the greens. Let's assume Artisan gets bumped, by the way. I think that makes most sense. I think Battle VIP Pass Guzma is not bad. Actually, let's do Letter. I think Letter Rod is better here. Yeah. Letter Rod is better here, so I can letter for the last water energy. Oh, hold on, I fucked up. I don't want to do Letter Rod. No, I do want to do Letter Rod because I have the Yes Seeker in hand. No, I didn't fuck up. Okay, cool. Cool, I didn't fuck up. Great. There we go. Actually, did I fuck up? No, I didn't fuck up. Right? I might have. Wild Freeze for 70 on the next target. Draw. Ooh, Trainer's Mail. Oh, huge. I don't even have to burn the VS Seeker. Hell yeah. Play that greens immediately. For Guzman Hala and a counter catcher. Dude, this deck flows so well. 5 prizes in a turn with Mew 3, baby. Oh, let's go. Which attack did you use? I'm curious. Okay, put the second thing to 210. Draw. Counter catcher the third thing. Guzman Hala, my water energy, and my teammates. Let's grab counter energy, artisan, and no tool, I think. Oh no, there's a tool jammer. Put third thing to 140. Let's assume something gets like KO'd by a Guzma, like for example this guy on the bench. Push Regirock, draw. Definitely retreat. Not yet. Maybe it's a Guzma turn, not a counter catcher turn. We need to find a counter catcher. The best way to do that is to just Yes Seeker for teammates and play the teammates. Spiky Stomp GX from Alolan Sand Slash GX. Oh, set up with Dusty Ruckus on turn. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, that shit's nasty. That shit's nasty, bruh. I want to get counter catcher in greens without telling my opponents. There we go. Gaining supporters is so important in this list, I feel like. Counter catcher, the third thing back. And Protection Cube, or not, sorry, Wild Freeze, to put that thing at 140, the third thing. Cool. It's kind of stuck, not gonna lie. Let's Faba, I guess, put the third thing to 210. Draw. Counter catcher, greens. Yes, Seeker Roseanne's backup. Go. My hand is so full, bro. Wild Freeze fourth thing to 70. Draw. VS Seeker for greens. Or VS Seeker and a Faba, I think. Dude, my deck is getting thinner and thinner. Maybe I shouldn't play all these supporters. KO'd 3 Monkey Dory plus a Fez plus a Curlia. Oh shit, that's just straight up a wipe. Let's fucking go. Okay, Faba and VS Seeker. Wild Freeze the fourth thing to 140. Wild Freeze the fourth thing to 210. Now there's 840 damage in play. So what I can do now, Artisan. Use Artisan for Lele. I'm surprised I haven't drawn it yet. Honestly, at this point. have a counter energy in hand, so we attach it. Retreat Articuno. And magical swap for 6 prizes. Hell yeah. It's that easy, gamers. Oh, there's gonna be an ad on Twitch soon. I think it's like in 10 minutes, so I'll just rip it now, I guess. And while the ad is playing, I'll put the announcement picture back up again. Not that one. This one. Like I said, the commanders specifically are not final yet, but neither is the date that we're actually gonna play. So hey, enjoy. You can see my thumbs up in the corner here, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly, you got it. That's a big hee moment. One of those people on there is me, baby. It is! We're both chilling on the right. Me with a silly ice cube penguin and you with the series mascot and a big fucking dragon. The difference is there, for sure. Like I said, I don't know if, like, you mentioned Picarama as probably being your commander. I'm not gonna, like, pin you down in this moment to say, like, oh, you have to choose your commander right now. I just wanted to show you this, guys, this teaser, because we don't even have a date scheduled yet. I wanted to talk about it tomorrow, maybe. So, yeah. Sorry, ads. No worries. Like I said, you don't have to lock in your command. I'll just repeat what I said. There's no need to lock in your commander already. I just put this one for the promotional picture just because it was the most recently mentioned thing. And we also still have to put a date. So I just liked. I just preferred to do a little bit of a teaser moment so that people can get hyped. You know. Picarama is your favorite. Spoiler alert, chat. Yeah. Okay. But if Picarama is your favorite, it might mean that you include it in your deck, but it might not be your commander, you know? That could also be the case. I know you're pretty locked in on your type, but... yeah. EMAG Radar crazy. Oh yeah, EMAG Radar can just grab your Picaram. So you couldn't believe I didn't know that existed. I might have. So okay, so yeah, I completely forgot that card existed. I don't know if I never knew that card existed. I know I said it like that, but ever since we've had that conversation, I've dug a little bit deeper, and I'm like, did I truly never see that card before? And I'm starting to doubt myself more and more. But I definitely haven't seen it very much. I'll tell you guys that. Also, I'm shuffling like crazy back here, but you guys can't see because of the teaser image. You can see my hands going up and down occasionally. I swear to God, I'm not jorking it. Only Ian Robb is jorking it, right, gamers? There we go. Ad break's finishing. That means we can turn this thing off again. Hell yeah. Let's roll. We get odd, so we can get to go second again. Yay. I'm so sweaty, man. I'm so sweaty. There is a basic here, unfortunately. I mean, Jirachi is not the worst. Especially if we're playing against Rich Drago, for example. Ooh, that's 7 cards. Yeet. Going second. I do have an Artisan to potentially search for Badu. Come on. There's Badu. Keep price checking for a bit. Okay, I think there's some tools priced again. I'm gonna check that in a second. I have a greens here that I want to play as well. I'm definitely attaching water and retreating to the Badu. Come on, England, score some fucking goals. Let's greens exploration for a battle VIP pass. This is like the nutty play that I wanted to do every turn 2 going first, or turn 1 going second. Sorry. Where's Battle VIP Pass? Don't tell me it's priced. Oh my god, Battle VIP Pass is priced. Gotta be kidding me. I mean, Gladion doesn't even matter for it anymore. Dude, why is it priced? Oh, it's not priced. I'm tripping. Sorry. I'm just hard tripping. Yeah, I wanted to grab these two. I'm just blind. Battle VIP Pass and Nesball, where we're gonna play both of them. Get ourselves an Articuno, a Regirock, and another Articuno. Oh, it's Articuno that's priced, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, I should have grabbed Heavy Ball. You know what? I'm gonna give myself this take Bagsy. I don't care. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna take Bagsy's my Nesball for a Heavy Ball. This is the result of the VIP pass. I know that's an illegal take Bagsy's in actual tournaments, but this is for practice. I don't care about take Bagsy's at all. Let's Heavy Ball. For that Articuno. Yeah, there's also... Oh, wait, Lele is also priced. Okay, hold on. I have to grab Lele. I have to. Otherwise, I will literally have to Gladion for an Articuno later. Or Gladion for the Heavy Ball. But then it's kind of telegraphed. I need Gladion in this matches. Yeah, I have to grab Lele with Heavy Ball. That sucks. This pricing is a little awkward. I mean, like, these four don't really matter. I mean, the Guzma is annoying, but it means I just have to counter catcher every time. Attached section cube, attached floatstone, and Itchy Pollen for 10. I'm assuming they KO the Badu with very little setup. Going to 5 prizes, so let's push a Regirock with Floatstone. And an Artisan for another Regirock just in case. There we go. Or maybe I get Bunnelby here. No, I think Regirock is better. I mean, technically another route is to just grab a KO mid-game instead of like trying to do the magical swap big thing, but that's definitely suboptimal. That's Iono, so at least we now know that the Tapu Lele is in the deck. Don't need it in play right now, of course. Okay. We got a Water Energy. Not exactly what I'm looking for. I can still Nestball for that Bunnelby. Or maybe we go for... Actually, Ogerpon is maybe correct here. Nestballing for Ogerpon. And just retreat locking. They do have counter catcher in hands. Retreat. Ogerpon. Satch Water. Counter catcher. I will rip the Trainer's Mill. Can't grab that. Okay, I find Gladion. That's pretty big. Got a Gladion for next turn. It's actually so massive, the Gladion. Okay. Nice. We'll stop for 20 and hope they're stuck in active. Then we're gonna play the Gladion. Swap it with the discard here. Oh, I wonder what it could be. I don't necessarily want to bench log myself, especially not if I have another, if I don't even have this Articuno set up, but might have to. I'm gonna sob again, putting them at 50 damage. Computer search. Computer search can get me Faba, or can get me Guzmahala, so I'll computer search away to Faba and Artisan. Actually, Guzmanhala doesn't really do anything for me here, because I would have to discard more stuff. I'll just go grab the counter energy. I know I don't have to reveal it, but I'm gonna play it right away anyway. There we go. Setch the counter energy. Retreat. Do the Articuno. I'll bench the other Articuno. I can still VS Seeker for... because I played Computer Search here. I can VS Seeker for my Iono. I think that's good. Just drawing 6 off the top. Yeah, I get Lele back. I have Roseanne's back up. I guess I can let her for a few energies. Definitely not the worst idea in the world. Oh. Only one? Oh yeah, I already discarded 2 energies, that's right. And when 1 is in prizes, I run 4 water, 4 counter. In case anyone is wondering. And Wild Freeze to get them to 120. Draw. I'll attach a water energy here and a protection cube. And I'll Yes Seeker for green's exploration. Got Ordinary Rod and Floatstone. Attach the Floatstone to Red Rock. Hello, Lamp. Are we functioning? Play the Ordinary Rod. Shuffle back the 2 water energy and the Badu. Actually, no need to shuffle back the Badu. Shuffle those 2 back. I love this song. Wild Freeze to get into 190. Draw. Oh, I got the counter energy off of this. Okay, never mind. My whole double attach plan is kind of gone now. I'll VS Seeker for another greens, I think. Actually, my hand is kind of a yikers. I think I'll VS Seeker for Iono. Yeah, this hand's a little bit of a yikers, so Iono is fine here. Go. Okay, I already attached return. I got 2 Trainer's Mail, so maybe this finds me something. I find Counter Catcher, that's big. And use that next turn. Trainer's Mail again. Or another Counter Catcher, I guess. Good shit, I don't need teammates yet. We're in a pretty good spot. God, Trainer's Mill is such a broken card, man. I swear to God. Trainer's Mill is so goddamn broken. Put that to 60, draw. Counter Catcher, another thing. Guess I'll attach here. Second thing to 70, draw. Attach this here. I guess we can target Whistle in events as well. No, let's not. It's Guzmanhala. Discard those 2. Get this. Yeah. this. Those are really my only 3 options. Or to say in Japan, Trainer's Post. Yeah. I like that name more. Trainer's Posts. I've been breezing through my deck, by the way. Holy moly. The Iono's really helped me with that. Tool Jammer here. No, actually, I need to save Tool Jammer for Lele in case of Stealthy Hood stuff. Put second thing at 140. Draw. I'm not gonna greens here because I don't need anything. Put second thing at 210. Draw. Counter catch your third thing. Put third thing at 70. Draw. I guess I'll attach here. Put second thing at 140. Third thing at 140. Draw. Put third thing at 210. Draw. Counter catcher. Put fourth thing. Put fourth thing at 70. Draw. Put fourth thing at 140. Draw. Put fourth thing at 210. Draw. And now everything is nice and set up, but my bench is full. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna retreat into Jirachi. And I'm gonna pass. They hopefully KO something. Like, honestly, let's assume the worst case scenario that they like boost my dad and KO that for 2 prizes. And what we do then is we floatstone, or we push the floatstone Regirock. We artisan for Tapu Lele. This time it was on the bottom because of Iono. This is why I didn't want to do any weird shenanigans with drawing cards. Counter energy on the Lele, push Lele, magical swap, shake my hand. Cool. 2 cards left in deck. Excellent. To be fair, I had some Versus Seekers in hand, so it wouldn't have mattered, because I could just Versus Seeker for N or something. You just Night Watch your opponent to 2 and then unfair GX the following turn. You know what's really funny? What a really funny thing is that we can do in Standard now in Black Bolt White Flare is if we have the new Gothitelle in play with an air balloon, like if that's an active, we get our opponent to like shuffle draw 3 and then attack with Bayonet to put those 3 cards back into their deck so that they have no hand. Unfortunately, we have no way to control their top deck and they still probably have onboard draw with like Mew and stuff, but Fez is not active. So that's really funny. It's a really funny thing we could do. You could do. Okay. I think I'll do like one more, and then we'll look for a raid. Okay. So we gotta go in first game again. Or again, it's been a while since we had a going first game, but oh well. We start Overpawn. Okay. Interesting. Let's see how consistent we can get the setup. Draw? Oh my god. VIP pass top deck. Hell yeah. So I haven't priced computer search in like one of these games. In like none of the games. Definitely this. I saw they also have Artisan in my opener, which I do want to put down. Don't want to put down, I think. That should floatstone to Regirock. That should water to Articuno. I will actually Artisan here for a Badu. If we have it, that is. I didn't price check properly. Ah yeah, Badu is priced, of course. Badu is priced! I'll go grab Articuno again. Alright. There we go. Pass the turn. Assume they KO my Wellspring. Draw for turn. Sorry, I have to push the floatstone thing. Okay, this is workable. We attach counter energy here. I computer search my hand away for a green's exploration. I play the green's exploration for a protection cube for sure, but what's the other card I'm gonna grab? Probably another greens. No. If I have N, that's better. N is better here. I do have N. I discarded Iona with the computer search, so there we go. Man, computer search is so good sometimes. Yeah, Greece exploration is straight up just double Skyla, which is so good. Attach protection cube here, retreats, Regirock, and Wild Freeze for the first 70. Draw. Oh my god, I draw greens. Green's actually better here because I can get letter plus cube. Look, cube is on the bottom. Yeah, nice. Letter plus cube. Use the letter for water and water. I'll artisan for another Regirock, by the way. Forgot to do that last turn, but I really actually... Hold on. Let me check if the floatstone is priced, the second floatstone. Before I do that. It's not. Okay, cool. It do not be priced. Very nice. Did my closed captions just stop working for some reason? That's so weird. When did this stop? I have no idea. Satch. Wild Freeze, the first one to 140. Draw. Oh my god. Guzma. Can't say no to that. Satch water here. First thing to 210. Draw. Guzma. My Articuno with my Articuno. To get their second thing trapped. Wild Freeze. That's for the 70. Draw. Oh, Gladion. Man, I'm never gonna play this N if I keep top decking these good supporters. Yeah, we're gonna Gladion for Countercatcher for sure. The other cards are definitely missable. It's been like that for a while. Yeah. Oh, but it's back now. I see the captions are back now. Weird. It's an option you can turn on, so it might not be immediately visible, but hey, whatever. Wild Freeze second thing for 140, draw. Oh my god, heavy ball. I get to immediately look at my prices again. I'll grab Badu from it. Yo, Sam, hello, welcome back. I'm not gonna bench this Badu, I think. No, let's not bench the Badu. Okay, put second thing at 210, draw. Countercatcher, third thing, and then N. Okay, only draw 4, I draw 6. You just gotta work Slay. Oh yeah, how was your day at work? I don't even know what you do for work. Have you ever told me that? I don't think you have. What do you do for work? It was alright, okay. You have not shared. Do you want to share is also another question. Please don't redraw the Banu. Okay, these are like kind of dead cards. Not gonna be I'm gonna be honest. The VS Seeker's alright. I mean, I guess we're replaying the Artisan. It's got probably bumped at some point. I haven't used it in the past few turns. Wild Freeze Third Thing for 70. Draw. Oh, greens. I don't even have to pop the VS Seeker. Let's fucking go. Greens for Countercatcher Floatstone, 100%. Thatch Floatstone, Wild Freeze Third Thing for 2/140. Oh, and we got counter energy. We basically got the Holy Grail here. We just got everything. If Artisan gets bumped, I'll replay it. I don't care. Third Thing to 210 damage. Next turn, Countercatcher Fourth Thing. Greens for. Why are we playing N? Isn't it like straightly worse than Iono? No, it depends. Sometimes I do want to maybe see some cards that I haven't had back. So I don't think it's strictly worse. I don't think it's strictly worse. Also, there is an Iono in this deck. There's one Iono, one N. So I can VS Seeker whichever one I want. Yeah, sometimes I don't want to bring a piece all the way to the bottom of my deck. That's the main reason. And then Wild Freeze the Fourth Thing to 140. Draw. Wild Freeze the Fourth Thing to 210. Draw. And this is where the gamer combo comes in. Tapu Lele. Counter Energy. Retreat. To the Tapu Lele. And Magical Swap to get probably 6 prize cards to move the damage counters around. Just play Team Rocket's admin, for real, for real. If only that card was legal in Expanded, if only. You know what format it is legal in, though? You know what format it is legal in? In Poke Commander. You weren't here for the initial announcement, Sam, but I've basically, over the past few months, concocted a new format called Poke Commander, which is a 100-card singleton format with legality dating all the way back to base sets. Of course, there's a ban list, and it's a little bit bigger than Expanded because, yeah, that makes sense. I would hope so. One of the other guys on here is Strategic. Strategic is the one with the group key profile picture. I'm in here as well. There's Bombshell Cherry, there's Discount Charizard. We are still yet to pin a date to do the showcase match. I don't think I've decided if I want to just record it or record and live stream it. Time for Sableye turn 1 donk. Let's go. Yeah, I've made sure that there's no Sableye turn 1 donk because it's a 100-card singleton format. So you can only run 1 copy of every card, except for basic energy. And you have a commander in your deck, which is the thing, like the card that everyone chose. As you can see, the commander is a rulebox Pokemon that you can put in play whenever you want. But the more times you replay it, the more of a cost you have to pay. That's all I'm gonna say for now. Did we ban it, Noah? Oh no, we unbanned Sableye from Stormfront. Remember? We unbanned Sableye from Stormfront because it's a 1 card in your deck out of 100. So what are the odds that you fucking start it? Also, you can't turn 1 attack anymore, so who cares? Like, Sableye Donk is not gonna happen. Like Donk is specifically not gonna happen because there is a rule that if you have no more bench Pokemon, if you have no more Pokemon in play left, you still get your own turn, and until the end of that turn, to play a Pokemon to save yourself. Isn't this kind of like Magic the Gathering? Yes. I've recently played a lot of Commander in Magic the Gathering, and I really like it, especially with groups of 4. That's also where this idea of the format came from, where I'm like, oh wait, I can probably make this work for Pokemon as well, and just keep the same vibes, where people just have decks that are very creative and not necessarily good, maybe at the first point. And it's just for good old-fashioned Pokemon fun instead of Magic the Gathering fun then. So yeah, that's the point. It's like Magic Commander, but for Pokemon. my lamp just fucking quit. As you can see, the screen got a little bit darker. My lamp just fucking quit. I don't know why. It's actually not fully turned off. Oh, there we go. It's back. I just have to turn it off and on again. That works. First take a Meloetta muscle band GG shake my hand. Okay, so Meloetta is on the ban list. There is a quote-unquote tiny ban list of about 3 A4 pages. It's unfortunate that we have to do that, but Gen 1 printed a lot of broken cards. Like a lot of broken cards, unfortunately. Okay, fine Latios. Yeah, you can Latios, I guess. But like I said, Donk is not a thing, because there's a rule that if you have no Pokemon in play, you can still play your whole turn out, and if you don't have a Pokemon in play by the end of your turn, then you're out of the game. I've changed that because people can attack into the same target multiple times. As in, like, for example, player 1 and 2 can both attack into player 4 on the same turn. So there. Just play red card and then use Donk. So red card is banned. Red card is banned. Of course red card is banned. What do you think? You can't cheese this format. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't say that out loud. There's probably ways to cheese this format. But the question is, 1, how consistent is it in a 100-card singleton format? And 2, if you find a way to cheese it, I congratulate you. You're gonna get on the Wall of Fame, and then we're gonna ban that card later. That made you cheese it. Thumbs up. Send me the rules in the ban list. You will make Donk happen. Sure, I'll send it to you after stream. I'll send it to you after stream. I honestly, I could add you to the Discord maybe. I have prepared a Discord server just for the 4 of us. I think I want to only publicly open that after the showcase match, so I'm not going to open that yet. But I'll send you the resources. Don't worry. Yeah, I spent a lot of time on this format to make it like semi-balanced. As balanced as possible, because I still aim for this to be like kind of like a casual format, maybe a binder drop format. You know, there's different gradations to this. If you discuss with who you play, just like in regular Commander from Magic, if you discuss with whoever you play what the power level is approximately, like, okay, we're all gonna play binder drop, or we're all gonna do one gimmick, or we're all gonna do like somewhat optimized. Broken Time Space better be banned? Trust me, it is. All the broken cards are banned. Okay, I'm not going to say all the broken cards, but the most broken cards are definitely banned. Also, as you can see in my deck box, there's a sneak preview for the next deck we're going to play on Sunday. There's a little bit of a sneak preview for the next deck we're going to play on, the next expanded deck we're going to play on Sunday. It's a proxy I printed out in advance. I like giving sneak previews, as you can see. So, super energy removals on the ban list too, bro. Don't worry, don't worry. I got you. I got you. All right. I'm gonna move myself towards my PC again because we're gonna go look for someone to raid. The stream is over at this point. I'm not gonna do any things. I'll send you the document with like the ban list and the basic rules. If you're interested, I can send you the full rule compendium. Which I think if you want to make Donk happen, is kind of a must to read that. Actually, maybe. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's always good to chat. Thank you, thank you. On the YouTube side of things, the stream is going to end in a few minutes. Thank you for watching. If you're on Twitch, we're still going to go raid out to a fellow creator. I'll pause the music so that I can actually listen in on the people that are live to listen if they're close to ending, yes or no. Let me type the raid messages in chat, which you can copy. 1 for if you're sub and 1 if you're not sub. Damn, this light is tripping so hard. It's so funny. The backlight is tripping so hard. It's really funny. Let me see. Who is live right now? I guess I'll put this up again. Let's see. Hey, Heroic is live. Is he close to being done though? Because he usually streams at exactly the same times as me. Yeah, my browser takes a little bit to load, unfortunately. Come on, please load faster. Okay, no, he's still gonna go for quite a bit. Give me all the stuff, even if you can't make Donk work. I still want to try to identify the better cards for format. I've done some work for you as well. I've laid out a few staples for like every type as well. So I've laid a lot of groundwork for you that should help you thrive in this format, even if you're lesser knowledgeable in the format itself. So don't worry about that. You got all the tools you will need to build decks. All right, thanks everyone so much for hanging out. I'll talk to you guys later. We're gonna play some Zartelion on Sunday. Bye bye.